Eight-year-old boy dies in fire, mother in custody. A Westmoreland mother has been taken into custody after her 8-year-old son perished in a fire at their home in Toppling Green Jail, Westmoreland on Friday night. He has been identified as Remy Richardson, student of Peggy Bar Primary in the parish. The police said that about 11:40 p.m., Richardson was alone in the house when it caught fire. His mother, who was on the outside, raised an alarm. The fire department was also contacted, the police stated. It is reported that after cooling down operations, the lifeless body of Richardson was seen on the ground. The police said his mother has been taken into custody pending further investigations. St. Mary Police reassure residents after murder in the community. The St. Mary Police, led by Acting Superintendent Kevin Francis, conducted a community walkthrough in Enfield on Saturday, April 27. Acting Superintendent Francis stated the purpose of the walkthrough was to alleviate the tension in the community following a recent murder on Saturday morning. The police aimed to reassure community members that they were actively working to solve the crime. We want to reassure citizens that our efforts are ongoing and we seek to solve this murder and bring justice to those who are responsible for the crime, Francis stated. The walkthrough saw the team engaging in house-to-house interactions with several community meetings held. On Saturday around 12:16 a.m., residents heard explosions and called the police. Upon the arrival of the lawmen, they discovered 22-year-old laborer Lamar Tubby Hutzer of John Pen, St. Mary, lying face down in the road. It was discovered that Hunter had several gunshot wounds to his body. No motive has been established for the murder. Investigations continue. Medbrook High School student charged for physically assaulting schoolmate. A 16-year-old female student of Medbrook High School in St. Andrew has been charged after she was caught in a viral video physically assaulting another female student. This was disclosed Friday by Superintendent Cherika Service, head of the St. Andrew North Police. Superintendent Service told reporters that the student was charged on Saturday with assault occasioning bodily harm and is to appear before the family court on May 13. In the viral video, the 16-year-old was seen repeatedly kicking and punching another student of the school. The victim appeared to have been temporarily knocked unconscious after her head slammed onto the road surface during the violent assault. Even after she was knocked out, the 16-year-old continued to inflict blows on her defenseless schoolmate. JTA says effects of school violence on educators must be considered and mitigation measures implemented. As efforts continue to reduce the number of violent incidents involving children, the Jamaica Teachers Association JTA is also advocating for measures that would consider the implications on educators. JTA President Leighton Johnson explained that the recent spate of violence among students has created an even more stressful environment for teachers. He told reporters that while teachers are prepared to deal with the usual behaviors of growing children, the students' exposure to violence has made their jobs somewhat untenable. According to Mr. Jones, many of the teachers have become fearful. He said the situation is also impacting the learning experiences of students.
It makes the job a little more difficult in having to deal with these violent interactions with students. We're not just talking about the growing pain, the problems that come with maturing children, maturing teenagers. Teachers are equipped to deal with those issues, but what our teachers are not equipped to deal with is the level of violence, the level of violent confrontation that our students bring to the classroom. They are really second guessing how they approach students. Once the teacher or students know that the students are perhaps affiliated with a particular group or gang or anything, there is often apprehension in dealing with the students. And of course, what teachers are demanding at this time is for safety, an atmosphere of safety and cordiality in our classrooms, where students understand that it's a space, a safe haven, a space to grow, to learn, to develop, and not a space or a place for hoodlums or people who constantly and persistently perpetuate crime and violence. I can tell you in many instances, teachers have complained bitterly that they spend sometimes the greater part of a session just trying to get classes settled in some instances, counseling students, developing conflict resolution skill as best as possible just to ensure that peace and order is maintained in the classroom. And these are the things that teachers undergo on a daily basis. This is just what teachers have to face. So we're saying we have to get it back to the place where there is that level of harmony within the classroom.
$81 million and counting. Taxpayers are bearing the weight of an $81 million and rising salary bill for 7 suspended public officials as a result of drawn-out investigations and administrative limbo within the government agencies. The $81 million represents the total pre-tax basic salaries of the officials whose cases grabbed national attention over the last 29 months. When accounting for benefits and their temporary replacements, the cost soars, shedding light on the financial repercussions of prolonging suspensions. The Jamaica Civil Service Association JCSA, which said it is aware of 8 of its members being suspended from work, argued that added to the cost is the emotional and psychological impact persons whose fates hang in the balance face. The union's head, Tika Clark Griffiths, and St. Patrice Ennis, who leads the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, insists that the regulations need to change to put a time limit for the investigations or reinstatement. The 7 cases examined involving persons who have been off the job for 6 months to more than 2 years. They include Dr. Grace McLean, the Chief Education Officer in the Education Ministry, and 3 from Hart NSTA Thrust, Jamaica's Skill Training Agency, Novlet Denton Prince, Senior Director of Corporate Services and former Acting Managing Director, Donna Inglington, Senior Manager, Human Resource Management, and Onique Dixon, Manager, Human Resource. 2 other instances related to Sean Martin, Field Inspector and Deputy Head of Planning at the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, and Assistant Building Surveyor, Colvette Sutherland. The 7th case involves National Water Commission NWC President Mark Barnett. Persons have been appointed to act in at least 5 of the roles pending the outcome of the cases. The salary for the persons in an acting role typically comprises their substantive pay plus the difference between that paid and the low point on the pay scale for the person in whose seat they are acting. Grace McLean, who was acting permanent secretary in the Education Ministry, was first sent on leave in October 2021 and induction in January 2022. Her substantive post is Chief Executive Officer. She was suspended after an Auditor General's report recommended subcharge proceeding against her for her part in the report loss of $124 million allocated to the Joint Committee on Tertiary Education. She has denied the allegations. In September 2023, Financial Secretary Darlene Marston advised McLean that the subcharge notice was withdrawn because 3 years had passed and the notice was not legally enforceable. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark blamed the Education Ministry for failing to respond to requests for information for the collapse of the proceedings. However, McLean is still not back at work. Questions submitted by reporters to the ministry last week seeking an update on her status have not been answered. An official was appointed to act in her role last year. McLean's attorney, Peter Champney KC, said he has not received an update. "We have not gotten any update as yet," he said when asked about the matter last week. Information obtained by reporters shows that McLean has been paid at least $16 million in basic salary between October 31, 2021 and March 2024. The information suggests that her salary may have been adjusted downwards, a likely implication of being indicted. The most recent case involves NWC President Dr. Mark Barnett, who was sent on administrative leave last October after an Integrity Commission report accused him and his wife, Annette Francis Barnett, of breaching the law in constructing their apartment complex in St. Andrew. Earlier this month, Minister in charge of Water, Senator Matty Samuda, said the NWC's board will make a statement on the matter soon. "I would expect the board to comment on the matter soon as they're going through their assessment and reviewing their legal options because it is a matter that does not have legal options in front of it," he said, declining to say whether negotiations for a separation were underway. Barnett has been paid at least $13 million up to March. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.